How to have fun, anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
You're listening to the Retro Mo Podcast. I'm your host, Mo, and I love to play and review old video games and a few new games too. If you prefer to read instead of listen, check out my written reviews at retromo.substack.com. In this episode, I'll be sharing my experience with Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards, for the Nintendo 64, released in 2000. I've scored this 6 out of 10. An okay game. An underwhelming 2.5D debut for Kirby on the N64. I distinctly remember the first time I played Kirby 64. After playing a lot of Kirby Superstar with my grade school friends, we were all now die-hard Kirby fans. We loved Superstar. So, someone rented Kirby 64, and we tried it out. I was so excited. Kirby Superstar was my favorite game, and I had never played another Kirby game before. The opening cutscene had me hyped, but within minutes, before even finishing the first level, I felt so much disappointment. My 7th grade brain struggled to process how I was feeling. Something wasn't right. This wasn't Kirby. I was expecting more Superstar, just reskinned with 3D graphics on the N64. The well-developed copy abilities with full movesets from Superstar that I had nearly memorized were all gone, replaced with weird, slow, and clunky new abilities. Kirby moved so slowly. The pacing of the game was torture. It was like someone kidnapped the Kirby I had come to love and replaced him with a shoddy, off-brand replica. It wasn't until much later that I learned where the Kirby magic went. Masahiro Sakurai, the creator of Kirby and the genius game director behind Superstar and Smash Bros., had moved on from the Kirby franchise. Kirby Superstar was Sakurai's final mainline Kirby game, so Hal tapped Shinichi Shimomura to carry the franchise forward. And, unfortunately, his games departed significantly from what made Superstar so great. Kirby 64 is the final installment of Shimomura's Dark Matter trilogy, featuring Dark Matter as the main antagonist. Ultimately, I'm glad I revisited and finished Kirby 64. I tried to keep an open mind in spite of the bad taste this game left in my mouth from childhood. I do see improvement from Kirby's Dream Land 3, also directed by Shimomura. But Kirby 64 still suffers from a lot of the same issues. I did enjoy the animated cutscenes. They were cute and fun, and I do remember the thrill of seeing Kirby come alive in 3D on the N64 back in the day. Cutscenes aside, the visuals were just okay for an N64 era game. A few of the levels had some nice eye candy in the background. The colors were bright and cheery, reminiscent of Dreamland 3, but a few of the levels had some very flat skyboxes that didn't blend right, and I found that distracting. I remember being disappointed by the limited 2.5D gameplay. After playing Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, I expected Kirby 64 to be fully 3D. But Kirby fans wouldn't see a fully 3D Kirby game until The Forgotten Land, released in 2022. Jun Ishikawa is back, and he's delivered another great soundtrack with some solid new tunes. Even though, on the whole, Shimomura's copy abilities will always pale in comparison to Superstar, I can appreciate some of the creativity in the ability combinations. It was fun to explore the different combinations available, even though several of them were awkward and just not fun to use. Also, the ability combos are not balanced well. A few abilities are very strong, like fireworks, double electricity, and some abilities are nearly useless. Dynamite even hurts you if you don't figure out that you have to duck when it explodes. Like most Kirby games, Kirby 64 lacks any notable challenge, except for a few levels with these cheap insta-kill obstacles that you have to dodge, And those just feel terrible because Kirby moves so slow in this game. I found that the real final boss battle, unlocked by collecting all the shards, is pretty repetitive and not very fun. Similar to Dreamland 3, some of the level designs are flat, repetitive, and boring. For many levels, you can simply fly above everything without engaging with the enemies. The game is short, as is sadly the standard for the series. Even after collecting all of the shards, it only took me about 4 to 5 hours to roll credits. Overall, I can't recommend Kirby 64 unless you are a die-hard Kirby fan just wanting to experience all the mainline entries in the series. Thanks for listening to the Retro Mo podcast. As always, I do my best to keep all of my content spoiler-free and rated E for everyone. If you find this podcast enjoyable or helpful, tell a friend and consider giving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. If you have questions or comments, you can send an email to retromopodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Godspeed.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.